What's going on, y'all? It's your boy J.H. Gibbons here.
We'll see.
Welcome to another episode of the Achromous Podcast, episode 123. We want to thank you for joining us today. Whether you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify, or you're watching our faces on YouTube, of course, I need you to do these three things: hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You see, the next time you hop on YouTube and you're scrolling down your feed and you're looking for a video to help you get through the rest of the week, none other than Achromous Podcast will be sitting right there waiting for you. And most of all,
It's free to do so. It's not going to cost you anything but time, effort, and consistency to do it each and every single week. I'm going to add a couple more things onto that too. But before I do that, let's recap. We need you to like it, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Could you also share it? Each one teach one is our motto. If you really enjoying this episode, let's help others out there learn. And if there's any part in this conversation that you're really finding yourself to have enjoyed and you want us to pick up a conversation with you directly, timestamp that and let us know what your question or whatever it is that's related to the conversation is below in the comment section, and we'll keep it going, pick it right back up with you guys.
100% we'll see. And that is very much appreciated for us, right? This is all about community building. It's all about building each other. And that's why we are here on the Achromous Podcast to do so. We'll see what a week it has been, man. 122, the rise of AI and what that might mean for a lot of us, especially when it comes to skill development. I could say this past week, man, I've been really diving into what AI will be bringing to us in the future, exactly what its role could be in our society, and if as humans we continue to fight against it in some realm where we're working with AI rather than becoming a servant to AI, I think it serves us all better, where AI can definitely make our lives a little bit easier, but then at the same time, we as humans are making the lives of others easier. I think that is the way our system works here, especially in the U.S., where we are always trying to find a easier and simpler way to do some of the more complicated tasks. So I think last week going into this week, we'll see. I hope a lot of people who were able to watch that episode, if you have not, pause this, go back, watch it in full, let us know what you think about it. I think going forward, we do all still have a lot of thinking to do. I think we have a lot of preparing to do, and we have a lot of action that needs to be taken. So, hope a lot of you guys out there are taking the action now, where you are learning a skill that will allow you to be marketable, allow you to ensure you're not going to be obsolete at some point in the future, and your ability to enhance the life of yourself and your family and your family's family, your children's children, as years go by. This is not going away. There's a future in all of this because businesses see that there is a market in this. There is a potential for just record-breaking revenue with the boom of AI. So these businesses are going to do anything to get their hands on it. Governments are going to find ways to implement it. It's here to stay. So if we want to be here to stay as well, we just have to ensure that we are working with it and we are all still building together rather than trying to isolate ourselves from it and have AI completely take over our lives.
Oh yeah, I agree completely. I think this week was definitely a reflection of it. There was definitely a lot of news trending towards AI. I think Jay, I was telling you about. I think I sent it to you about what happened with the stock market, and
Yeah.
here that happened. That definitely fluctuates. Some folks lose a little bit of money, and maybe some to gain. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things that we want to be mindful of. Jed was definitely strongly suggests just paying attention to what's trending, what is a need that you could provide as a service to people.
Mhm.
It's going to be very crucial for us to keep close to watch on that. Dare I say within just the next 5 years, because things will definitely probably more than probably be different than we know it now. A lot of jobs we already see that are kind of going out of going out of business and work and is being replaced with AI. There's definitely a lot of that that's happening, but I do believe that it isn't everything out there that's going to be replaceable because you still have a need for the people. And above all else, what the hell are people going to do if we don't have a suitable source of income to work to provide for yourself? What is the government going to do with people? So that's something to consider, something to think about. Maybe we may have a big fight on our hands coming sooner rather than later with just economy speaking, and just kind of how society is going to be laid out for us. But it was definitely something worth discussing. It was definitely really, really nice to kind of reflect on that, especially this is such a hot topic that's going on right now. So yeah, just do what you can, guys, out there to stay alert to it. If you haven't had an opportunity to watch episode 122, please go back. And if you have any, again, questions or want to pick up a conversation from that, we're welcome to join and speak back up on that. Or if you want to hear about it in a future episode or have us bring a guest on that's more along in that realm, we can definitely work on that for you too. So yeah, some things to think about. Yeah, it's been a long week since that time, Jay. How about for you?
It has been. It's been a very long week. It's been a week of reflection. I think we're just about at the halfway point for the year. I didn't really notice that until I looked at the date. If you guys all noticed, we were recording this now, and it is Sunday when our typical episodes launch. And this is going to be more of a special episode, an episode of gratitude. But just noticing where we are. I mean, we're halfway done, right? And a lot of you guys who have stuck with us from the very beginning, 123 now episodes ago, when we first started. We thank you for doing so. And it's you mentioned fighting, and I know there will be a lot of fights coming on. I mean, of course, politically there are always fights. That's just our system. Um, Outside of that, of course, the economy. I think humans are gonna need to fight to remain obsolete. Thank goodness there are unions out there that protect certain workers out there. But even outside of that, I think we just need to fight for our rights to survive and thrive here. It is becoming more difficult, increasingly difficult, to continue to fight. But in all of this, especially when you understand your purpose, you understand that at times in life, you're fighting for more than just yourself. You're fighting for your family. You're fighting for your children who, they cannot defend themselves now. They can't support themselves now. So it's up to you as a parent to ensure that you are providing the best life for them in order for them to thrive and grow at some point when they learn from what you've done in the past and what you've done to help raise them. I think it's important to understand that besides kids, I think there are many people out here who are in a position where they are unable to defend themselves. And there are brave few, we'll see a very brave few who have put their lives on the line. Let me back up there. They put their lives on hold because they knew that there was a purpose that they needed to fulfill that was greater than themselves. And it was to protect a country of dreamers, believers, thrivers, innovators. Um, and of course, on the political side, look, there are people, of course, that we do not agree with politically. There are people we do agree with politically, but all in all, we're all people. And at the end of the day, we all have our needs, we have our desires, we have our wants, we have the things that drive us. And for a select few of people in our history, in world history, that were willing to pay the ultimate sacrifice. And even for those who were put in positions where they had to do so, because there was no other choice. Because if they did not do that, our lives here in this country would have been drastically different. I think we needed to come to this episode, we'll see, and dedicate an episode to those who have been lost over the past few decades, centuries, even from our country and around the world, who have served in the military, those who are not with us anymore. On this Memorial Day special for the Achromous Podcast, we wanted to share our condolences for those who have been lost, those who are here and still have to carry that weight and carry that burden of understanding that somebody will not be here. Just know, at least from our perspective, that person did not pass in vain. And I can't really say that. I do not know the stresses and the pain that a lot of these families are going through to this day, regardless of when your loved one may have passed or sacrificed their lives for us to live the life that we're living now. We wanted to put this episode together to just express our gratitude for what they have done in this life for us to for us to live the life that we live. And I think we'll see. It has been a little bit difficult in our society today. I think there are certain people that, dare I say, I don't really want to say they hate the US, but I don't think they're proud to be an American right now. There are many people who I think go out on a limb and say that they're not proud. They go out on camera to say they hate this place. They don't want to be here. This place should burn. I've seen people over the years burn American flags, and I don't want to make this into a patriotic episode, but I think sometimes we do need to step back and realize that there are people out there who put their lives on the line to serve a greater good. For us to even have the opportunity to be upset with things that happen in this country, because let's be honest, there are countries around the world where if you step out of line even a little bit, if you say anything that is considered derogatory about that country, you will no longer be here. So for us to have that freedom to disagree with things that are going on, and it's good. Look, I'm the same way. We'll see. There are things that are happening in this country I do not agree with, but the perspective that I have is that I love this country enough to know that we need a process to heal. We have not had that yet. I don't think we've had that in our country's history. I think there's so many wounds that are still open, so many scars that continuously get reopened, that we have not, as a country, been able to heal. But I think on this day, to express gratitude to those who decided, look, I love my country, I love my family. I have seen what other countries can do if they get enough power, where they're in a position to change our livelihood, where we are no longer as free as we are now. Um, I wanted to express that gratitude to them. We'll see, since they are no longer here, and know that if you do love this country enough, you'll love it to ensure that it changes in the way that we want to see the change happen. Um, this goes for, I mean, even on the side of being a parent, we'll see there's some times where you might be disappointed with what your child does, right? There's a time where, like, oh gosh, you shouldn't have done that. I'm very disappointed in that, but let's find a way to grow. Let's find a way to change those habits. Let's find a way to change what you have done. Let's see what the core of the mistake that you made was, so that we know that we're not going to be doing that again. And I think if we look at that in the same respect, regard that we look in our country, we can understand that we are still in a season of growth, and it's painful, it's tough, it's difficult, it stretches us beyond our known capabilities and our comfortability, but I think it's something that we need to continue to do. And for those who paid the ultimate sacrifice and paid the ultimate price to lay their life down on the line for us to be able to live the way we are living, the utmost gratitude and respect goes to them. And on this episode of your Achromous Podcast, we wanted to make that known.
Yeah, I share the same sentiment as what you said. Really just want to give gratitude to everyone that has served. And I just want to extend that gratitude even further, than everyone who has served for this country, uh, everyone domestic as well, from the law enforcement, um, to our medical field, to everyone, especially, for example, times with COVID. We lost a lot of people made a lot of sacrifices. Um, and as you said, we want to focus on the sacrifices that were made for the greater good, those who decided to be selfless, um, and just serve for the people that they love. Uh, and as we know, it's not something that's easy for everyone to do, and that is definitely one of the greater sacrifices you can ever make in this life, is to be selfless and put the need of others before your own. So just really want to give a thank you to my family that have family members that serve, friends that have served, that are here, and those that passed on, and just say thank you for even having the opportunity, uh, for us to be able to embrace the power of choice and the decision that we make. Like, as a country as a whole, we know we got to do better. Um, we and This gives us an opportunity to have a chance to do so. So hopefully the best way we can honor those that has made the ultimate sacrifice is by doing the work and actually changing.
Mm.
So thank you all out there for your loved ones that has served, that has given myself, my children, opportunity to, make a difference, to try. And, we just thank you all, just in general, for this is a sacrifice that were made in all fields, for the country and domestic as well. We appreciate you.
Very well said, Wolsey. Very well said. And now we want to turn it over to you guys out there. For those of you who have lost a loved one, regardless when it was, those who have served, we want to hear one of the most memorable stories that you have with that individual, and it doesn't even have to be military related in terms of the memory, but we want to continue to grow as a community. And I think to do that, we want to be able to share some of the best times that we can remember with our loved ones that are no longer here. So we want to pass that opportunity to you. If there's a story of a loved one that you have lost, that has served this country, that you want to make known to the public, please let us know. The best episode, you know what? I think we'll see this time. We're not going to go with the best. We're just going to share stories that we hear. So you're going to have an opportunity this entire week from now until next Sunday to share your story. Whenever your story is given to us, we'll promote it. We'll put it out there. We'll share it with the rest of the world, from this Sunday up to next Sunday. So the floor is yours, ladies and gentlemen, to share those stories, share those memories, share the best times that you've had, that unfortunately you can no longer have now. I think it's a great opportunity for others to see how great these people were, not just on the field of battle, but at home, right? In the community, in schools. I think this is a great opportunity for you to share that story here on the Achromous podcast.
Yeah, for sure. We look forward to hearing it, each and every single one of them, and again sharing it out with the world, because you matter, and our loved ones, they all matter. They still do. So this is an opportunity to honor them, and to allow the world to share into their greatness, and for us all to remember the importance of life and just how valuable it is, and how sacred life should be cherished, and given grace and thanks where it needs to be given the most.
100%. We'll see. We want to thank you for joining us on this special. If you're listening, it means that you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify. If you are watching the Achromous podcast, I need you to do one thing before you do anything else. I need you to ensure that you get us right. I need you to ensure that you understand this brand and you understand what we're talking about. I know some of you are new, and that is absolutely fine. We thank you for joining us. I know for some, you've been here before and you still may not know what we're all about. So let me help you out again today. Achromous. If you're watching us on YouTube, I need you to do these three things. If you have not done so at the beginning of this episode, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. The next time you hop on YouTube, you're scrolling down your feed, you're looking for an episode that commemorates some of the bravest men and women our country has ever seen. You'll see that episode here on episode 123 of the Achromous podcast. And most of all, we'll see.
It's free to do so. Look, this is one of those privileges that we have, and what better way than to honor those who've made this possible for us by giving back and doing things such as this, especially if you enjoy our content that we've delivered to you today. Again, if you could just like, share, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and if you want to continue a conversation, we're looking forward to those comments below. And again, keep in mind, it will be shared. So we appreciate you, and we're looking forward to telling your story and the story of your loved ones as well.
100%. And until next Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your week. It's your boy, J.H. Kibbins.
I'm going to say, hey.